right. So this month we have been talking all about ways to expand, ways to be okay being seen, ways to grow. Like, I've changed significantly in the past 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, whatever. Still me, right? But still there's a difference. There's a difference for me. And boundaries are one of those things. There's many things that we talk about. We talked about understanding why you're so special, right? Understanding why you're so special. You may only be one person, but you may be the person that means the world, right? You may mean the world to someone, right? You don't know whose life you impact and how you impact. And frankly, it's not any of your business, or it's not my business who I impact, even though I love to impact. That's what I love to do. But you don't know, and you don't get to say if you impact people's lives or not, because you have no idea, really. So you are special, and you may be someone's world. Okay, we talked about lots of other things. Tonight, we're going to go over boundaries. If you guys have issues with boundaries, I'm going to impact you, all right. And hopefully this will give you a little bit of a explanation. You're more Dr. Doomy. You don't hate it. You may be saying, nah, you're all right. You're all right. Dimensions, we got you. We all love you. All right, so we're going to talk about something that none of us are ever taught, because usually our parents, people around us when we're younger, and all those things, they don't have anything to say about it, right? Typically, as people who care for each other, we typically have people walk all over us, right? That's typically what happens. If you're one that cares for someone, it could, and unfortunately, a lot of times it happens within families, right? That's going to be your first place probably that you need boundaries, is in your family, right? If you're the one that does everything, and you're tired of doing everything, there's some boundaries there. And I understand there's time and place where you have to do things you don't want to do. I'm not suggesting you just decide to not going to do it anymore, but our community is the authentic life, right? I'm trying to get you to see that you can love your life, right? You can live a life that you love. You can be around people that you love. I have a hard time with that because so many of my people are far away, right? But you can live that. So boundaries are one of those things that can help you grow, okay? Boundaries are not walls, they are fences around your garden. What happens if you do not have a fence around your garden and you have a bunch of animals and people running through? Or if you live at my house, then your husband just pulls everything out from everywhere and doesn't pay any attention, and it doesn't matter, right? But boundaries are not walls. They are fences around your garden. They are what keeps the weeds from overtaking your flower bed. They are love in action for yourself and for others. Who would ever do that? Without them, your energy leaks, your growth struggles, and instead of expansion, you feel resented, burnout, and depletion. If right now, currently, or lately, you have ever felt depleted, burnout, resentment because of the shit that you have to do, because it's your obligation. Anybody feel that? Right? It's true. It's true. Because you just go and you do what you have to do. You do what you have to do. I'm not, again, suggesting there's not times that you do what you have to do, but there is this balance, and there is a way that you can live the life that you want and be around the people that you want. When we honor our boundaries, we create a safe container where love can thrive, where expansion can unfold, and where our soul has room to breathe. Who in here wants their soul to have room to breathe? Do you have people that when you're around them, you can finally breathe? Do you have these people? Do you want these people? Right? You want to be around people and things that allow your soul to breathe. Breathe. Like old retreat breathe, right? Breathe. Yes. Yes. Oh, dimensions. Mirror is a huge thing within our community. And I talked to Rebel about this the other day, and I was like, I'm really good and bad about that, right? It's like, you decide how we're going to act today. Like, you decide. You're talking to me, you decide. So boundaries, this is what boundaries actually are. Boundaries are simple. This is where I end and where you begin. Okay? Boundaries are where I end and where you begin. This is where I end. This is where you begin. This is where all the things you need me to do begin. This is where all the things you request of me. This is where it begins. This is how, right, you treat me. They define what is mine to carry and not mine to carry. Boundaries are not rejection. They are clarity. How many of you guys feel rejected, abandoned, whatever? When someone gives you a boundary, you feel like, okay, well, they don't like me anymore or whatever. I feel that too. So I'm not making fun of you. I get that, but that's how we get, right? Boundaries are agreements with yourself and with others to protect your peace, your energy, and your purpose. I had this class written long ago, babe. Talking to all of us. They are agreements with yourself and with others to protect your peace, your energy, and your purpose. Right? Do you have people that just stay? Now, Rebel, don't you say yes and say that it's me. Do you have people that stay on your ass and you're like, stop. Just give me freaking space. Right? They are suffocating. I mean, I have family members. I don't have any friends or people close like that anymore. But if you do have stuff like that, okay? Without boundaries, our yes gets watered down. Every time you say yes to something that drains you, you're saying no to the expansion that your soul is so much calling for. Okay? Every time you say no, or every time you say yes, you're saying no to yourself. Why do you not value yourself enough? Why are you not enough to love and to protect? Don't get me started. I'll come for you. Boundaries allow you to hold onto your energy long enough to invest it where it truly matters. Boundaries they allow you to hold onto your energy long enough to invest it where it truly matters. Expansion requires space. All you guys wanting to expand, you don't want to do anything different, right? And you want to stay in your little space. Expansion requires space. And boundaries create that space. Boundaries help take away the things for a moment, right? And allows it to be filled with things that you do want in that space. Misconceptions about boundaries. Many people fear boundaries because they associate them with rejection, abandonment, selfishness, and conflict. Who in here associates with someone being different and drawing boundaries with you, or someone changing things? It feels like you're being abandoned, right? It feels like, are you not my friend anymore? Do you not like me as much anymore, right? Are you rejecting me? You're abandoning me? These are old wounds for you. Hey! These are old wounds for you. These are not wounds from right now, right? These are wounds from a long time ago. Now, I am not suggesting to you that people cannot, well, in regular terms, I'll say, I'm not saying people can't leave you. People leave people every day, right? Right? But the real truth is as an adult, no one can truly abandon you because you can take care of yourself if you have to. People walk away all the time for a little bit and for forever. And it does not make it easy if you're one that's emotionally invested in people, right? Try to be good. I won't please. Yeah, and that's a good place to be, Dimensions. So without them, you're literally running, trying to please everybody, and you're just forgetting about yourself, right? You're still mad about someone walking away? Yeah. Why would you not be? I mean, that's the human response. It is a human response to be upset when someone turns and walks away, right? That is an appropriate response. It is hurtful. I've had people walk away and it hurts. It hurts. Especially when you love them so much, right? Or whatever, and they just walk away. It hurts. But one, it's not always forever, right, Meraki? It's not always forever if they're still breathing, right? But you hold on to resentment from it. I tend to do that though. I just walk away and walk back. You can't hold that resentment, right? I mean, you can. It doesn't do you any good. It halts your growth. It halts your healing. All right. Boundaries invite healthier relationships. They tell others, this is how you can love me, right? Once you can get back, once you can get past, they left, right? They walked away. Don't know why, don't know how, whatever your thoughts are. You get past the resentment, you get past the anger, and you truly still have love for them. That's usually how it works in a way. Once you get past it, boundaries invite healthier relationships with yourself and with others. It tells people this is how you can love me well, right? This is how you can love me well. One of the ways people can love me well, and anybody that knows me knows this, that I don't so much care about gifts. I like gifts. I like presents, but that's not what you can give me for me to feel valued. What is it? If you know me, what can you give me to make me feel valued? Right? It's not gifts. Right? It's not. It's not. If you know me, what's something that, time. It's time. Yeah, time and attention. Let me just be with you. Let me just sit with you, right? It's important. That's right. Yeah, presence is huge. It's huge for me. Always has been. When I set boundaries, I'm not pushing you away. I'm teaching you how to come closer in a safe way. Now, listen to that. I am not pushing you away by creating boundaries, right? Have you ever been so hurt by someone, you're terrified to let someone else in? So everybody that shows up claiming to love you and care about you, you push away, right? You push them away because they're going to do it too. Everybody else did. Why would they be any different? Why would they be any different? This allows people to come closer to you in a safe way. In a safe, sustainable way. Because what happens when you get too close to someone and they don't have a boundary, and then they go, and then they freak out, and then you go back to the beginning, right? And so boundaries can help you when you know people in this intimate way of knowing what their boundaries are, and you're okay with knowing their boundaries, right? Some people don't want to know other people's boundaries. But they're this beautiful thing, and it allows you to get close to people, right? I have lots of boundaries, like don't try to get up all in my energy. Ask anybody who tries to that's not invited, or I didn't know about it. Shut up. I wasn't even necessarily talking about you, but since you brought it up. No. I mean, I wouldn't say that everybody's on. Never mind. Right. But do you see, like, that is what happens. Like, when someone doesn't know what to do, they don't know boundaries, they don't know how to set them because they've been the person that does everything for everybody, right? Everybody wants something from you. And if you can't draw boundaries, then you're not allowing people a safe space to get to know you. You're not allowing people a safe space to get closer to you. It's not safe, right? Oh, you know what you're doing. You having no boundaries is wild. Dimensions. You know what you're doing. But I mean, right, it is that there's not a lot of people that stay in our lives forever, right? There's not a lot of people that are okay loving. How many of you guys know someone that loves unconditionally? Most people don't have that. Right? Most people don't have that. And so when someone like that shows up, you're like, the fuck is this? Like, I can't deal with this. They want something from me. I don't actually know what it's like to be on the other end of that. So I don't know what y'all are thinking when it happens, but there are people that will love you unconditionally. There really is. There may not be a lot, but there are. Your dog? Yeah. Yeah. All right, so imagine your growth is a garden without a fence. Animals trample it, weeds creep in, and your flowers cannot thrive. But with a fence, you can nurture your garden while still letting sunshine, water, and visitors in who honor your space. Who honor your space. You guys get to choose who you let in your energy. Even though you may not still like it, you get to choose. You get to choose who you let in. If you think of yourself as a cup without boundaries, your cup keeps spilling over and over and over. But with boundaries, you stay full enough to pour into others from your overflow. Dimensions, I love that. I love that saying so much. You will not see me leave quicker than when I think I'm not wanted around, or I can feel, and I know you're the same way, because even though we haven't chatted a lot about this, energetically, you can feel when someone doesn't want you around. And you know it's not trauma. You know that someone doesn't want you around for whatever reason. You can feel it, right? Now you have to be able to separate, is this my trauma? Thinking like, they don't want me around. Or is it legit? But when someone legit has an issue with you, whether it be being angry with you, being jealous of you, being spiteful of you, whatever, you know when they don't want you around, and I will peace out and not think twice. For sure. Yeah, absolutely. There are different, I'm not there. Music, expansion is like a song without boundaries. It's just a noise. The boundaries are the rhythm that lets the melody flow. Oh gosh, eyes don't ever lie. I am a sucker for eyes. Oh, I'm a sucker for eyes. Yeah. People that will not look me in my eye, I will always question. But I get told that's how I steal people's souls, so... I will steal your soul. But if your eyes, yeah, I love eyes. I love a mouth. I love a good mouth. I love a good mouth. maybe, I mean, because it's, if they won't look at me in my eyes, I feel like you're lying about something or you're hiding. You got a purty mouth. I do like I love young blood's mouth. I like a mouth. All right. Types of boundaries. There's several different kinds of boundaries. I'm going to go over 4 different kinds for you guys so you guys can get this little bit. You're intimidated by me? Don't be intimidated by me. I am not one to be intimidated by. I get that a lot from people. I'm almost invisible sometimes. Not complaining, no. Sometimes it's really good to feel invisible. I won't say that I like that all the time, but I definitely, when I'm not doing this, I need the retreat. I'll come get under your cloak that no one sees you. And listen, I know people see you. Yeah, it is a frequency thing. It is. What thou mouth do though? Okay. He does this. Okay, so physical boundaries. Physical boundaries. Your body, your space. Your body, your space. Your body, your space. I've talked about this a couple times just because I think it's really funny. Jen ran up to me at the festival and I did not know it was her. I just felt something in my energy that I didn't know. And I was like, what in the hell? And I was like, close off. Your body, your space. Like, you should be in charge of this, right? So I don't hug without asking. I need 8 hours of sleep. I need to, work out. Whatever you need to do, right? These are your boundaries, your physical boundaries. Do you not like to be hugged? Do not hug me unless, like, I'm okay hugging, but, like, I have some limits on it. I got some limits on it. And then it's not that I don't want to just hug everybody, but I don't want everybody's energy all in my business, right? So boundaries on it, right? It's side pat. Don't hug me when I'm crying or gonna cry or anything sad. Like, nope, don't do it. Know your boundaries. Know your boundaries. You love a good kitty hug. I mean, I do love hugs, but it's always that, like, fine balance, with it. It's like, I like to, if I am going to hug, I like to do it all the time. And usually when people hug, it's like when they're saying goodbye. That's ew. Ew. Not the goofy. Yeah. So physical boundaries, those are boundaries, right? And I'm going to go out and say this too. If you have had, this is trigger warning, if you've had SA, right? If you've had any trauma like that from any kind of abuse when you were younger or as an adult, boundaries. If you're in a relationship, if you are getting close to people, if in any of that, you want to know how to get closer to other people, it is by you having boundaries. You allow them a way to know how to get close to you without shutting you down. Because that's what happens when someone doesn't have boundaries. You get too close, it shuts them down. Okay? Next is emotional boundaries. This one is a huge thing. Emotional boundaries. Protecting your feelings and mental health. Example, I can't talk about this right now. I don't want to talk about it. Now, I don't mean go and be a pussy and don't talk about things that you should talk about. That's not what I'm saying, because you need to not hide behind boundaries. Boundaries are to help you define a line of how people can get closer to you. Now, if you go and say, well, Kitty said we should have boundaries, and that means that I can define my emotional boundary of not talking about anything because that's my boundary. Like, that's not what I'm talking about. Okay? That's not what I'm talking about. But I can't talk about this right now. I choose not to discuss personal issues at work. If that's you, that's not me. I've talked to everybody all the same, pretty much. Emotional boundaries, right? Emotional boundaries. When you talk to me like that, this is what I will do, right? If you're going to be disrespectful to me, I will not continue the conversation. People think I'm a bitch now because I will say that. If you're going to be disrespectful to me, I won't continue the conversation. I don't care. Okay? There is a difference in you when you know what some of your boundaries are. Sometimes it's not being comprehended and understood. Yes. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Listen, Rebel and I talked the other day, and I was like, some people like it when I get very like, you're certainly not one of those, are you? Relational boundaries. This is something I just said. Like how you allow others to treat you. How you allow others to treat you. This is how you allow siblings to treat you, parents to treat you, people you're around all the time to treat you. This does not mean someone called me out on my bullshit and I'm having a boundary because I don't want to hear it. That's not what I'm talking about either. Okay, so you really have to be in that I'm going to grow or I'm trying to be a better person when you dive into the boundaries, because it's not all or nothing when it comes to it, right? An example of how you allow others to treat you. I will not stay in conversations where I'm disrespected. If you're going to disrespect me, I will end the conversation. Right? That is valid. Toxic behavior, yes. Yes, and that's why I'm saying there's always these gray areas. Like you have to be in a mind state to where you're trying to heal and grow. That's a big one for you. Yeah. If you're going to treat me like I'm 5, that's not a good example for obvious reasons, because everybody calls me 5. But if you're going to treat me like a child, I will not continue conversing with you, right? If you're going to treat me like a child, I'm not going to converse, right? So you need to know your relational boundaries. I know you say I'm 5. Bo says I'm 5. Everybody says I'm 5. Yeah, Bo, that's right. And it's true. It's true. It's all a learning game of that. And then, because you and I've talked so much, why so 5? It's because sometimes we don't realize it until where we're at in our life. And then we have to stop and like look back and be like, okay, just kidding. You know, it's like with our parents, with any relationships, with anything going on in our lives, a lot of the time, by the time we realize that we have been toxic or we have been brought up in toxic or whatever, like it's, you know, we're older and we have to work towards those things to start working through it. Hey, Tankless. It is good. It is good. It is good. We're talking about boundaries. Okay, so that was relational boundaries. I will not stay in conversations where I'm disrespected, right? And then when people know you won't stay in conversations when you're disrespected, they're going to go around and be like, oh my gosh, she's such a bitch, blah, 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 blah. But you know what? Then they won't continue to try and engage you in conversations where you're being disrespected. The last one I want to talk about is energetic boundaries. Okay, this is protecting your spirit. Protecting your spirit, right? There is a lot of things with protecting your spirit, and you know, it's one of my things. I could go on for a long time on this because there's a lot of different ways to protect your spirit. Protect your spirit is note the people that you have around you, you know, that are going to keep you protected. Rebel and I talked the other day about that. Like, we talked about what is love, right? We kind of talked about it. We watched videos and stuff like that. But like, what is love? I think that love is so many things. But one of the things love is you can be yourself, good, bad, and ugly. And you don't have to worry if someone's going to walk away after that, right? You can go from like, fuck this, blah, 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 and then crying, and then talking, and then laughing. And you don't have to worry that that person's going to turn around and walk away and never come back. There's not a lot of those people, right? But that, when her and I were talking and she had a video we were talking about, and it's like, that's that. Like, do you have people that you could do that with? Like, that you could just be with? Like, no, they're just going to listen to your bullshit and listen to you absolutely go off the deep end and just lose your mind, and then allow them to take your balloon and pull you back down to ground. That's such a raw and pure kind of love, right? That's a different kind of love. Yeah, of course. 1,000 times. I'd rather listen 1,000 times than not be able to talk anymore. Yeah, for sure. I would rather sit in silence with you than you not be around, you know? And sometimes the silence is the loudest, right? Sometimes that's what's needed. So the energetic boundaries are, do you know who you have around you? I'm not talking about when you go to Walmart, because I just want to jump in front of a car whenever I go to Walmart. Ask Rebel. I cannot stand Walmart. It's too much for me. Being around too many people, it's crazy. I can go to a concert with my people and be fine, but Walmart is asking a little too much, okay? Know the people that you have around you. That's the easiest way to do like spiritual boundaries. Be messy, be real, but don't be fake. Yeah, dimensions. I love that. Yeah, so much. It's true. It's true. Because anything that's real is worth the risk, right? Just with all the things that we go through, any friendships and relationships, if it's real and you know they want you to be real, that is worth the risk to me. There's not a lot of people like that. And so that's the easiest way to protect your spirit, right? Have people around you that got your back. That's the easiest way, right? But then also mind all the places that you're around. Like, you can go so deep down that energetic rabbit, hole of it, keeping your spirit where you want it, right? That comes with a lot of other boundaries. I mean, you could be a hermit your whole life. That's a boundary, right? Never have any people around you, but you miss out on so much joy. All right, so I'm going to talk about not being real was wearing your mask always. Yeah. I mean, and the thing is a lot of people have to realize there's people that know me and there's people that know me, right? And neither one of those are fake. They're boundaried, right? They have boundaries on it. You do, Hobbit? Yeah. No, I get that. I do. You've heard of me. You don't know me. I say that to Rebel all the time. Both of those are real me. It's just some are boundaried or guarded, right? Okay, so we're going to talk about some different kind of boundaries. That was types of boundaries. There is a couple of different boundaries. I expect to get some comments, I'm sure, here. Okay, because we're 5, we have a soft boundary. It's soft, okay? It's soft. A soft boundary is this. Do you need tomatoes? You'll be fine. Soft boundary is this. It is gentle. It's preventative actions like turning off your phone. I knew it. It's a grower. It's a soft boundary is what we like to call it. It's gentle, preventative actions like turning off your phone after a certain time. Like not answering the phone if you don't have the mental capacity to have a conversation. Boundary. Choosing not to engage in certain conversations. Scheduling a quiet time for yourself. These prevent burnout and honor your daily rhythm. If you're stuck in your day-to-day grind and you don't take time out to be around the people that bring you joy, or yourself, something that brings you joy, you're gonna get burnt out. That was a soft one. Then we're going to go to a firm one. firm boundary. Yeah, Jen. So a firm boundary is this. This is strong, non-negotiable limits such as refusing disrespect, protecting creative time, not lending money you can't afford to lose, leaving spaces that dishonor your value. These things align with your worth. Okay? These things align with your worth. They align with your worth. They are non-negotiable for you. Non-negotiable for you. What are some of y'all's non-negotiables, or do you have any? Like a non-negotiable. Do not come at me with disrespect. It will be met with not nice, right? That is one of my non-negotiables. Do not come at me with disrespect. I try to not come at people with disrespect because it gets really not very friendly when I put my angry eyes in, okay? So I don't like people coming at me with disrespect. So that is one of my firm ones. Like the quickest way to lose me is be absolutely disrespectful. Bye, right? Not even going to engage in that. We are splitting the check if you ain't putting out non-negotiable. That's such a lie. That is talons engaged, for sure. You oil the church. Okay, so that is firm boundary, strong, non-negotiable, right? Yeah, you get what you give. Yeah, no, dimensions, it's so true. It is so true. It's so hard being in a relationship or any kind of engagement to where you're the one doing it, right? And so you get what you give, right? And it's funny because when you have those people and you start giving back what they give, they absolutely do not like that, right? You're the villain all of a sudden, but it's a healthy thing, right? And in relationships, all of them, however, you're not going to always have 50-50. Like I firmly believe it's not going to always be 50-50 because sometimes I will be tapped out and I need someone to show up for me and vice versa. But there still has to be movement, right? And that connection. When the connection dissipates because somebody's doing, it's true. It is just true. You get what you give. Match energy and respect. Yeah, it is that fine line. I mean, I'm a giver. I am. I really am. Until you get to align with me, and then it's like you don't exist. And that sounds terrible, but I feel like dimensions, you might understand that. Not from me, but like I feel like our personalities are similar in that. And so it's like I've had people say, like, I don't like it when you're like that because it's like I don't exist. And it's like, well, I have self-preservation. Like, I have to, like, move on about my day. Like, I don't have time to sit and figure it out if you don't want to talk about it. So it's like you don't exist kind of thing, right? All right, so you need to have non-negotiables. If you don't know what they are, work on those. Think about a non-negotiable for you, right? There is so many different ones that you can have, and they all don't have to be big, huge ones. Like if you're disrespectful, I'll never talk to you again. It doesn't have to be that way, right? It's just these are the things that you're putting down a bridge for people to walk across if they want to connect with you, okay? That's what a boundary is. I'm putting down a bridge. If you want to connect with me, come across the bridge. All right, energetic boundaries as well are invisible protections, like visualizing light around yourself, affirming things. The emotions are not yours to carry, affirming things like that. A lot of the things that Elaine talks about goes through and helps with this, right? These shield you from energies that aren't yours to hold, right? When she says puck and putt it, boys in shorts, all that stuff, that is what she's talking about, right? Meraki, you don't need to be a doormat. Okay. So here is the shadow side of boundaries. Anybody who is a giver, guilty of being a giver, and loving. I love. When I love you, you know I love you, right? There's nothing that can make you question that for the most part. Sometimes setting up boundaries stirs fear, right? It stirs up fear. Okay, I'm going to set a boundary. But what's going to happen whenever I set that boundary? How are they going to react? Are they going to be mad at me? Are they going to walk away and leave me? What's going to happen, right? These are common feelings that you can have when you're trying to set a boundary, especially when you're new at it. So sometimes setting boundaries stirs up fear of being abandoned. If you've struggled with being abandoned and feeling like you've been abandoned, setting a boundary is difficult. Sometimes instead of setting a boundary, you just disappear, right? And you don't have to do that. You don't have to go hide in a cave, right? You don't have to throw the relationship away, whatever kind of relationship. It doesn't have to be like an intimate relationship. You don't have to throw it away, but that tends to be what we do instead of being the bad guy and setting boundaries. It stirs up fear of being abandoned, unloved, or judged. Many of us were conditioned to believe our worth comes from being endlessly available to do whatever everybody wants us to do. Right? Are you an Aquarius? I tend to get along with Aquariuses. It's okay to have that fear, right? It is normal. It is something when you first start walking down the road of boundaries and healing, it is normal to have those fears, okay? If people walk away from you because of a boundary that you need, let them, right? Let them. And I say that with so much love, let them. It's hard to watch people you love and care about walk away. But if they walk away because you're offering a bridge for them to learn how to love you, then they're not invested enough to walk across the bridge to come see you. That's real, right? That's real talk. So sometimes setting boundaries stirs up fear of being abandoned, unloved, or judged. Many of us were conditioned to believe our worth comes from being endlessly available to do everything for everybody. The truth is every time we abandon our boundaries, we abandon ourselves. And when we abandon ourselves, resentment grows. Love shrinks and our expansion withers. Do you want me to say that again? All you guys that have that resentment in there. Every time you abandon your boundary, you just do it just because. Ooh, you're not my boss today, big boy. You abandon yourselves. And when you abandon yourselves, resentment grows. Resentment grows. If you're becoming resentful towards someone, it is because either you're not getting and giving, right? There's something there, right? That's not adding up for you. Love shrinks and our expansion withers. You stop growing. You cannot grow with a huge amount of resentment. You can't be pissed off at all the people making you do stuff, right? And still grow. Every time you abandon your boundaries, you abandon yourself. And you abandon yourself because people have abandoned you your whole life. And this is your normal. But I'm still here. So not everybody abandons, right? Not everybody leaves. Hi, Garney. Boundaries are not acts of rejection. They are acts of self-loyalty. When I honor my boundaries, I stay faithful to myself. Why do we abandon ourselves so? Right? Who taught you that you weren't good enough? Who taught you that you weren't special? Who made you feel that way by leaving and walking away? They are not acts of rejection. They are acts of self-loyalty. When you honor your boundaries, you stay faithful to yourself. At some point in your life, you will come to the ripe age. I say age, but because I'm old. But you will come to the ripe age of understanding you have limited time and you want to experience joy. You want to experience love relentlessly. You want to have the time of your life. That you're in trouble, go to timeout, sir. People who are very hurt and sad and unhealed. It's true. It's true. They're not acts of rejection. They're acts of self-loyalty. When I honor my boundaries, I stay faithful to myself. Do you guys feel like you're in trouble? All right, so here's some journaling prompts. Where in my life am I giving too much of myself away? Do you guys have places? Do you guys have places in your life where you feel like you're giving too much of yourself away? These are just journaling prompts. What part of my growth would expand if I said no in that area? Like if I said no to that, where would I be able to grow? What would I be able to do? What kind of joy would I be able to have? Who am I afraid of disappointing? Who do I feel obligated to? Who am I afraid of disappointing if I honor my boundaries, and why? What boundary could I set this week that would feel like self-love and not punishment? Nope. You don't resonate with any of that? Which one do you not resonate with? Who am I afraid of disappointing if I honor my boundaries? And why? Okay, mantras for you. My no makes room for a bigger yes. Yes. My no makes room for a bigger yes. Boundaries are bridges, they are not walls. And again, a boundary is a bridge. People can choose to walk across that bridge. They know how sturdy that bridge is. They know what it's going to take to come close to you and be in a relationship with you, whether it be friendship or more. The bridge is there. If they choose to walk across it, there is boundaries. That is a boundary, right? It's not scary. It is good. It is a good thing. I can love you and still say no. I can still be your friend and say no. I can still put up a boundary and still love you. Because I'm teaching you how to love me. I'm teaching me how to love me, right? You're teaching others how to love you in the way that you need. Protecting my energy is protecting my expansion. How many of you guys want to continue to grow and do things in your life? Or are you just done? Like, I want to continue to grow. I got all kinds of things I want to do, right? Protecting my energy protects my expansion, right? When you protect your energy, you have all these bridges. No one wants to come all across the bridge. You don't want to come across the bridge to see me. All right, well, that gives me room for expansion. Oh, you are definitely the biggest in all the land. It is safer that way, dimensions. I always tell people, if you want to really get to know me, right, you're going to have to get across the water with the alligators first. And then you can fight your way into the castle. To know me. That's fair, because I think it just takes time, unless it's just one of those connections to where you're like, I just know you. Like, it takes time. Like, you're going to have to fight the alligators. You're going to have to do that. You're going to have to do that. Right. I feel that. The bridge, you want to come across the bridge? Come on over. Boundaries are sacred acts of self-respect, right? And face the dragon with no sword. It's a treacherous adventure. It is treacherous, isn't it? I promise I pay you back with everything I have. Yeah, I do give you back everything I can, everything for me. That is the class that I have for you.